Spy Television, The Spy Uganda, Detective UG, Andrew Irumba Live. Follow us on our social media platforms, The Spy Uganda, The Spy Television, and Detective UG, and on Facebook page, The Spy Uganda, and on our YouTube channel, The Spy Television. My name is Andrew Irumba Katsabe. I have actually come across a friend in Kampala, to be specific, Mr. Kaguma John Tinka Adieri. So Adieri, nkutangatanga ina nkusinkanyao njagala kutegeera kiki problem kibino biki byowetise bino. Ndaba wetise baasa bya Brown.
Atenye zino record za msango, baluwa za msango. Nafuna ekizibu. Nakuzo omwezi mukaaga omwaka ogwedde.
Nakuzo omwezi mukaaga mwezi ki?
January.
Dott
service batomera omwana wange mukona.
Dott service.
Dott service batomera omwana wange ngo bayita amanyage Mugume Patrick. Omyaka 35. Bamutomerera awo kubulye mukono. Bo benyini ne bamujjawo ne bamutwala mu ddwaliro. Mukono awo. Then the next day, na mukola transfer. Nzalina kuzo omwezi musanvu ne bamuleta Mulago. Ati bamuleta Mulago. Nabeerayo ebbanga tono. Omwana nakola ki? Omwana nafa.
Yafa?
Yafa.
Sorry.
Then on the 8th of January, we managed to pick the body from Mulago Hospital and we traveled to Fort Portal. Then on the 9th, we buried him. Ebyo nanga tonatuuke yonna Dott service twali nabo ku ddwaliro ne bakkiriza ne bagamba tujja kukola ki? Tujja kusobola kugula coffin no providing a transport okutwala maiti ya Fort Portal. Ekyo baakikola. Nate ne bantukirizaganya nti when they come back from the village, we shall sit down and see how they can compensate us. And before that, we asked them if the car was comprehensive insured. They told us that it was comprehensive insured. When we came back from the village, meeting the transport officer
of
Dott services, nasanga nti motoka teri comprehensive insured.
Yabwe.
Yaba Dott service. Tuddawo reception netaba nungi balinga abajerega ati nze ninsalamu ebintu ntutwala mu court.
You took them to court? When did you go to court?
Nagenda mu court enaku z'omwezi 26.
26? Mwezi ki?
Gwa January.
Mwaka ki?
2022.
2022. Omwana mwamuzika 2022 era?
Era twamuzika 2022 enaku z'omwezi 9 January. Kakati tuke ekiseera awo soka ntutula ne legal officer waabwe. Nagamba agenda tukompensatinga miliyoni 10. Tugamba omuntu osobola otya kompensatinga omuntu miliyoni 10 omuntu abadde yekolera afuna musaala gwe mwe amufunyisa ekizibu ate ne gundi wa muyakiriza yeye yakola ensobi driver wa muyakola ensobi. Driver ate ne bamutwala ne ku police olunaku lwaddako yali bamaze omukola ki omujjayo. Bamujjayo ndoza ba bribinga police ne bamukola ki ne bamujjayo.
Lowooza you suspect?
Lowooza
ekyo kitegerekese.
Kakati wetaddawo officer n'agamba kutukompensating ezo sente zaali ntono nnyo ntugana tugamba katugengere ne court. Ati bwe twatuuka mu court wakati agamba lwaki tuula ku meeza ntolaba engeri gya tusolvinga problem eno
court.
Olwo njogera na legal officer wa Dott services omukyala. Ate kati nze tumugamba sente ezo twagala za compensation. Ye n'atugamba kati nze ngenda kubuulira abagundi bayindi bakulu banange tolabe kiki kye tukola. Twatuka decision ne legal office nagamba abayindi bakiriza kuba compensating million yaga 5 tugamba tugenda balabadi agamba ati obudde bwonna abayindi bakiriza kubakola ki kubasasula ezo sente nate ntuuka ekiseera omukyala mudda mubuuza nti abakulu bali wabweru tuuka ekiseera natandika kungamba teri sente olidde kati nange kati mpulira ddala bintamye.
So they had accepted to compensate
with 50 million. But at the end of the day, they keep saying that the Indians are not here, they are abroad. When they come, they will solve this problem. Yeah.
This has taken how long?
Since January up to now.
January 2024.
2022.
2022. This is 2024. Hey.
It is coming to two. It is going to 2 years.
2
now.
years. So now we are at the level where the Dott service has accepted to pay, but verbally. Did they put it in writing?
Not yet.
It's verbal. But then it has now taken 2 years for them to effect what they promised.
They even told my lawyer to make a what? An agreeing letter.
Yeah, an agreement.
An agreement that let us
An
sit
MOU.
and be compensated.
So where is that agreement? MOU.
It is still with the Dott services.
No, don't you have a copy of it?
I don't have a copy.
So now, what is this one?
This one is a court letter.
15 February 2023 is when they received it. The Republic of Uganda in the High Court of Uganda at Mukono, Civil Suit number 10 of 2023. Kaguma John, father of the late Mugume Patrick, plaintiff versus Dott Services Uganda Limited, and Kasada Hagai. Kasada Hagai was the driver.
The driver, yeah.
The plaintiff is a male adult Ugandan of sound mind, whose address for purposes of this suit is care of Miss Vyamukama, Kaboneka and Company Advocates, Access Building, Plot 24-7, Rubaga Road. The first defendant is a limited liability company incorporated under the laws of Uganda with capacity to sue or be sued in its own name, and the plaintiff's advocates undertake to effect service of court process upon her. The second defendant is a male adult, Ugandan presumed to be of sound mind, and they're talking about the driver. And the plaintiff's advocates undertake to effect service of court process upon him. The plaintiff brings this suit against the defendants jointly and severally under provisions of the Law Reform, Miscellaneous Provisions Act, Cap number 79, Laws of Uganda, for the benefit of the members of the family of the late Mugume Patrick. The plaintiff brings this suit for recovery of damages, compensation for loss of dependency, recovery of expenses incurred in burial, and the costs of the suit arising out of fatal accident caused by the negligence of the defendants. The facts that institute the plaintiff's claim arose as hereunder. Number 1, on the 6th day of January the year 2023, Mugume Patrick, deceased now, was knocked by the second defendant driving an Isuzu registration number UBL 808Q on his course of duty as an employee of the first defendant, that is Dott Service, at around 16 hours, that is around 4 p.m. Photo of the Isuzu car is here too attached and annexed as A1. As a result of the said accident, the deceased was rushed to the hospital Mulago, and on the 7th day of January 2023 died as a result of severe head injuries following blunt force trauma. Copies of the death certificate and post-mortem report are here too attached and marked as A and B respectively. The accident was reported at Seta Police Station Mukono via the CRB number 11-06/01/2023. The plaintiff shall aver and contend that the accident was caused by the negligence of the first defendant's agent, servant, who wrongly drove from wrong lane at a reckless speed ended up causing the death, and thus the first defendant is viciously liable. The plaintiff shall contend further that the accident was also caused by the negligence of the second defendant and all the duty of care to the deceased on the road, and thus is held liable. Particulars of negligence: driving motor vehicle registration number UBL 808Q without regard to other users, failing to keep to his lawful side at the road, failing to steer, manage, control, or stop the vehicle, or in any other way to avoid colliding with the deceased's vehicle, driving at a speed which was reckless and or excessive in the circumstances, failing and or refusing to obey the highway code, failing to drive in a reasonable manner to avoid doing anything reasonably and foresee would cause risk or injury to others. The deceased at the time of death was a sole breadwinner of his family members and other dependents, and used to spend over 1.5 million per month. Particulars of the defendants of the deceased: William Tinker Dieri, grandmother, Kaguma John, father, Ivan Mugume, son, aged 3 years, he left a son, aged 3, Kirabo Isabella, daughter, aged 2. So he left 2 children. One is 3 years and the other is 2 years. The plaintiff shall also aver and contend that the deceased died at the age of 34 years and was physically sound, hard-working, and had some good years of working life, but it was because of the accident that caused his untimely death and tragic for untimely and tragic death, for which the plaintiff claims damages for loss of expectation of life of the deceased. The plaintiff shall aver and contend that as a result of defendant's unlawful and negligent conduct, he has suffered loss, mental anguish, inconvenience, and damages for which he claims general duties. Notice of intention to sue was duly communicated and served upon the defendant's copy of the same is hereby attached and marked as Annexure E. The cause of action arose in Namamve Mukono district, well within the jurisdiction of this honorable court. Wherefore, the plaintiff prays for the judgment to be entered against the defendants jointly and severally for: number 1, damages for loss of support and dependency; general damages for negligence; damages in respect of funeral expenses; interest on A above at commercial rate of 25% from the date of filing the suit until payment is full; and costs of the suit. The car is actually here. Emotoka eyatomera egambibwa okuba nti yatomera yino yali yavugibwa omukozi wa Dott service. Emotoka eno batugane nti ya Dott service. Wano waliwo ne medical report, Uganda Ministry of Health. Medical report eyogera medical certificate of cause of death. Cause of death Mugume Patrick. Nayo yino waneri attached. This is case here mortuary, Malago Hill. Authority is hereby given to remove the body of Mugume Patrick this was the 4th of 2023. Nayo yino no. This is your statement.
That one is a statement for the traffic officer.
The traffic officer who was there somebody at the scene, a traffic officer?
That one is his statement.
Oh, he came later?
He came later, but that one was his report.
Bakuba ne sketch map. Asajja bali serious, eh? ne balaga motoka gye yali eva ne yali eraga neyo neya mutabaniwo na emotoka wezatomeregana
naye ate omwana yali avudde mwali siding eri oli nakurosinga ekkubo ate musiding si ye nakurosinga ekkubo namusanga eri namutomerayo
ani
driver wa Kagundi driver wa Dott service
yali akoze ati
yakola ensobi nakurosinga nadde eri side eri omwana gye yali agenze okufuna airtime namutomererayo
kwegamba tiyamutomerera mu motoka
yamutomerera wabweru ne driver yatesifying that he made a mistake that the mistake was his he testified at police and even the police report
kwegamba yamutomera ng'atambula
ali wabweru
naye ekirungi nti bakkiriza
naye tebakiteeka mu nkola
so kakati ekyokubiri ne bakkiriza nti tugenda kuliwa miliyoni 5 all that is admission of the offense kakati ekizibu ekiriwo kati nti kibasuubiza kituta emyaka 2 okutuukiriza kikyaganya nti bwokuba esimu bagamba abakulu bakyali bweru
omukyala mwenyini legal officer wa Dott service nze olumukubira twatuula ne tuteesa ntumaliriza gamba compensation kuva mu December mwaka oguwedde
2023
nagamba tugenda kukola ki tugenda bemaliriza ne kakati angamba tebaliwo abakulu tebaliwo bali wabweru era kisusi it has become too much
oyina esimu y'omukyala wa legal head wa
njina
kimpeeko tuulize kyagamba obadde ogenda ku ofisi zaabwe obadde obafuna otya
ku ssimu
togendangayo ku ofisi zaabwe
nagendayo mulundi gumu
omanyi ku ofisi zaabwe balisaidiki
nagulu omukyala bamwita Kiara
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 eno demand note mwatiwandika 27 ogwo January 2023 Managing Director Dott Services Limited demand not come notice of intention to sue awo nga muli mubakanga kanga tugenda bawaabira bannange tugenda bawaabira mutuwe sente zaffe
kyali kituufu okubanga olabira ddala
we act for and on behalf of Mr. Kaguma John, father of the late Mugume Patrick, herein after referred to as our client, on whose stern instructions address you as here under. Number 1, as you are aware, on 6th of January 2023 at around 16 hours, your employee, Ewanu Kasada Hagai of Telephone This, on his course of employment while driving motor vehicle registration number this at Namav Industrial Park recklessly and negligently caused an accident that resulted into death of one Mugume Patrick. Before his death, Mugume Patrick was rushed to Mulago Hospital, whereby he was assessed and declared the cause of his death as brain trauma and severe head injuries resulting from the said accident. Take notice that the actions of your employee are actionable in law, both criminal and civil, and also you are held vicariously liable. Our instructions are to demand, as we hereby do, that within 5 days from the date of receipt hereof, and conditionally compensate our client a sum of 200 million being damages for the loss of his son, loss of dependency, and the expenses incurred for the burial. We further demand that you remit to us, this is 5 million as legal costs so far incurred. Failure to adhere to our client's demands within the specified period above, our instructions are to invoke the long arm of the law against you and your employee at your own cost and embarrassment. Partners James Byamukama, Nairobi, LL Zam Kaboneka. Okay. So, sente mwali mufunyako ku sente zino?
Tufunanga ko ku sente zonna kujjako eza bari expenses twafuna zabatwa.
Bari expenses baba wameka?
Batwa million 7.
Ne bagula ne coffin.
Byonna involved byonna.
Oh, baba wa million 7 to buy coffin and everything.
And transport. Kiegana bazi tuwezo.
Okay, kakati. Now, it is now over 2 years. Yeah, you have not been paid your money. Chichoroza kuzako. What do you think you are going to do?
Atakati olabo musango gwali gwako. Tuka ne point ya compensation. Biteke mu nkola bantu bakulu. Batule ku meze ekintu kigwe. Oba si kyekyo tujja kukola ki? Genda dada n'omusango mu maaso mu koota.
So what you want is that they should honor their pledge, their request. I'm calling the legal head, Mr. Madam Cha. Is she it's a she?
She's here.
Yeah, legal head, eh? Our viewers have been calling Chiara, the legal head of Dott Services. As you have seen, she may not be with her phone right now, but we believe that when we get her side of the story, we will also come back and make her statement clear on the same. My name is Andrew Irumba Katusebe, and this is the Spy Uganda. The gentleman here lost his son, and his son was 34 years old.
Yeah.
And he says his son died as a result of an accident caused by the driver of Dott Services. And he says, I have also seen the documents here, their demand was 200 million, but I think they have come down to 50 million, which they had accepted and agreed to as a compensation. However, his grievance now is that after 2 years, they have not honored their promise. I have nothing to add, sir. Patrick, thank you. Sorry for the loss of your son.
Okay, my dear.
Okay. So maybe if you have some closing remarks that you'd like to make, if you'd like to appeal to the Dott Service or to any government institutions.
What we want is only to be compensated.
You want justice?
That's what we want.
Kale, see you.